Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture we will be learning how the pen tool works. So you can have the access to pen tool by coming over to the toolbox panel over here and select the pen tool, or you can press P on your keyboard to have access to the pen tool. Pen tool basically creates one point to another point and it creates the path or the shape as we have selected from here. So from here you can select path or the shape. Path can later on be converted to selection or mask or shape, and if you are selecting shapes then it will create the shape. So let me show you. First let's create a shape. So when we select shapes we have two options over here, whether we want to fill it. Okay, so if we want to fill it with, if we'll check this one, that means it will fill with solid color, and if you want to fill it with gradient, it will fill with the gradient, and if you want to click this one, it will create the pattern or the texture. It will fill with the texture. And now suppose if I am selecting the solid color, then I can choose any color from here, and from here you can select the stroke, which color of stroke you want, or if you don't want any stroke, so you can click this one and it will not create any stroke. And from here you can increase or decrease the size of the stroke, and from here stroke option you can select the straight line or the dashed line or the dots. Okay, so these are the things basically. So now we have selected shape, and let's create a shape. So it basically creates, when we click once it creates one point, and when we click second time it creates second point, and then third point, and if we click it back from where we have started, it is going to close it and it will create a shape. Okay, so let's say if you want the rounded shape, so what you can do, make one point and then make another point, and this time without releasing your mouse button, just click and drag this towards the right or left with your mouse, and you can make any rounded shape you want or you are interested in. Okay, so around this, and if we click again and create new point, it will automatically create a curve based on that, and when we click here it will close it and it will create a shape. Okay, and suppose this time if you want that you don't want this point to be curved, you want this point to be straight, then what you can do, you can press Alt or Option if you are on Mac and drag it back from where we have started, or from this to the second point, and now if you click it will create the straight point thereafter. So this is how basically the pen tool works. Now let's select the path this time. So we have selected path, and let's create a straight path, and we need to click back on the first point in order to close the path, and that way we have the option to select from here either selection. If you select selection, it will give you the option of how much radius of feather you want, 1 or 2 or 3. So I usually prefer to have the radius of 1 pixels and press OK, and it will convert the path into the selection. And if you select the shape from here, it will make the shape out of it, and if you select mask, it will create a mask. So that means you can see over here it has created a mask and it has hidden all the layers except the path part. So only the path is visible and the entire layer is not visible. Okay, so you know how the pen tool works. And suppose if you have already created a path like this, okay, and if you want to make this straight line into a curve, then what you can do, you can again press Alt or Option and click this point and drag it, and it will create a curve of it, and if you'll keep on pressing Alt and now drag this handle and drag it back, that way we'll have this straight line and this one is curved. Okay, and similarly if you want, you can select this one and you can again create any part or the curve which you like. Okay, and if you want to remove any point, just click back on that point and it will remove that point, and then that would affect your shapes or the path. Okay, and if you'll keep on pressing, it will remove all the paths. So basically it's very easy, but though initially it seems intimidating, but once you are used to it, it's very easy and it's very useful for creating the complex selections. So thank you so much. See you in the next lecture. In the next lecture we'll be discussing about the Refine Edge tool. Okay.